UTV 44 Sports Production. Friday Night Rivals. This is the UTV 44 High School Game of the Week. Presented by the Mobile and Baldwin County Sheriff's Offices and the Drug Education Council.
Oldest rivalry in the state, and tonight these two teams will be meeting for the 85th time and both ranked in the top 10 in 7A. McGill-Toolen, the defending state champions in the largest classification in the state, taking on their rivals here in Mobile, the Murphy Panthers, who come in with a record of 1-0 on the year and really looking to continue on the growth they've had under head coach Rick Cawley. Good evening. I'm Jim Cox. My partners, as always, Dan Brennan and Vic Lockett here tonight as we look at this matchup, Dan. And, you know, Murphy-McGill really kind of tells the story, but it's going to be a compelling matchup here tonight. Murphy with a challenge. Their starting quarterback not in. They're going to have to turn to a sophomore, Darnell Thomas, tonight to lead the way offensively.
Yeah, that was not in the plans for Rick Cawley, especially the timing of that whole thing. They really didn't have enough time to get the young guy really ready for this one. Offensively for McGill, they've got so much speed, and a guy that sometimes gets overlooked, I think, anyway, is a receiver who's going to take his talents, if you will, out to Colorado Springs and to the Air Force Academy. We're talking about Brandon Hinton. He's number 4. He's one of those little fleet receivers that McGill's got. Don't go to sleep on this guy. He's made a lot of big plays last year, and he's eligible to make a few tonight.
Yeah, and it's also one of those things. I mean, the other receivers demand so much coverage. We've seen kids like this really have a chance to make a big impact in the game. A player who's going to make a big impact and has to tonight for Murphy, Vic. If they have a chance to win this game here tonight, they got to look to their leader on defense.
Yeah, their leader on defense is Kendrick Haynes. You know, he's a 4-year starter, and no question about him athletically or scholastically. Real good in the classroom. Great on the field athletically, of course. He's leading the team thus far through 2 games with 13 tackles. Got a host of SEC offenses that include South Carolina, LSU, Auburn. So he's going to be an impact in the game one way or the other, and they're going to need his leadership against this McGill offense, which is very, very potent.
Yeah, Rick Cawley just raved about the young man on our pregame show. We can't wait to watch him here tonight. Again, oldest rivalry in the state, a big one here in Mobile and a big one in 7A tonight. Of course, you know, really the big part of this game for the students and the fans, everybody else, who gets to paint the cannon at the Loop tonight? We'll know by 10 o'clock here on the UTV 44 High School Football Game of the Week. The Murphy Panthers on their home field at Ladd Stadium, getting ready to take on their big Mobile rival, McGill-Toolen. Both coaches talked about how this game brings out the alumni from both schools, so much more contact during the week. And you talked about it on the pregame show, Dan Brennan. You really do feel the enormity of this game when we're on the field 45 minutes before kickoff.
If you just stand close enough to the kids where you just get a look inside those helmets, you can see it in their eyes.
Let's go down to the field and welcome in the 4th member of our broadcast crew, Tara Reeves, down on the sideline. Good evening, Tara.
Thank you, Jim. Like you were saying earlier, this is the biggest high school football rivalry in the state of Alabama, the 85th Battle of the Cannons. Breaking these two teams down, McGill and Murphy, they're both dynamic offensively. Looking at McGill specifically, head coach Caleb Ross says his offense is blessed. Talking about dual threat quarterback Bubba Thompson, who can not only run the ball, but he has his pick of 4-star wide receivers, and that's going to be tough for the Panthers defense. But head coach Cawley says he thinks Ross might be one of the brightest offensive minds here in Mobile, but the Yellow Jackets know they have a great defensive line in the Panthers that they're going up against tonight, and one in particular, linebacker Kendrick Haynes. I spoke with him earlier this week, and he said he has his guys ready to not only stop the run game, but the pass game, and that cannon is going to be blue and gold tomorrow. We're excited to see who's really going to paint that cannon after tonight's game. Guys.
It is one of the great traditions, I think, in high school sports.
I think it's one of the coolest things, the cannon. I mean, it's so Mobile.
Sure, sure. No other city can say anything that's even similar to it.
I've never heard of anything like that. Right in the heart of the city, too.
Sure.
Right near where the 2 schools are. Just great tradition.
Amos Nikamanu will kick off. As McGill won the toss, they elected to receive. Nikamanu with a strong kick. And that chases Hinton or Roberson, I should say, all the way back into the end zone. So McGill will come out and start at the 20-yard line. Bubba Thompson, Tara was just talking about it. What a week he had last week against Davidson in that triple overtime thriller. Ran the ball 8 times for 101 yards, including a 71-yard touchdown scamper, but he also was 21 of 28 for that guy. Caleb Ross, the head coach of the Yellow Jackets, of course, led them to their first state title last year. And you know, maybe the fans, if you're Murphy, you hate McGill. The other way around, the two coaches, none of that with the time we spend with them during the week with them together.
Seem to be really, really fast friends.
So Bubba Thompson, as I said, 21 of 28 through the air last week, 4 touchdowns. And he'll start out, look for another double pass. Marlon Williams looking down the middle of the field, and he's got him at the 40. Tyler McLaughlin, Turner McLaughlin, touchdown, 80 yards. Yellow Jackets to open up the scoring.
Just like that, guys.
Well thrown ball, Vic.
It was. We need to check his number. Is that a receiver, Jim?
Number 7 tied in, Turner McLaughlin. His 5th catch of the season, and Marlon Williams with the toss.
McLaughlin, a pretty big kid who can run a little bit too. Got
a step on the outside, and that's a Murphy secondary that starts 4 seniors. And the USC commit dropped that one right into the hands of McLaughlin. And 14 seconds in,
well,
the Yellow Jackets take the lead.
has 2 quarterbacks now. They got that as their backup playing for sure.
Charles Green
won the Davidson game
for the PAT. How about that start if you're the Yellow Jackets of McGill? Might be some folks still in the parking lot. Either team's up 7-0 or down 7-0, depending.
Some of our TV viewers just getting back from the kitchen. What happened?
Big play to start it. Marlon Williams. Everybody throws it 50 yards. You were just saying last week to him, Brennan, even the wide receivers. McGill on top 7-0. A lot of folks work in that big, tall building that went to either Murphy or McGill. So look at downtown Mobile, 85th rivalry matchup between these two teams, and McGill goes 80 yards on the first play from scrimmage to lead it by a score of 7-0.
Dick told me that's named the Lockett Building. Is that true?
I have not heard that, but
neither have I, Jim.
Okay. Mahler on to kick. We'll send this one back to the 5 and straight up the middle, trying to answer back are the Panthers. Straight out to the 32-yard line is Blake Green, who will start at wide receiver tonight. Moves out of the backfield to start there for the Murphy Panthers, who come in under head coach Rick Cawley, his 3rd season, 1-1 against McGill. Straight up the middle for a gain of a couple. Darnell Thomas, starting quarterback. You'll see a lot of Nicholas Sims out of the backfield here tonight. There's Coach Cawley. Sims, who had that carry there. Caleb Ross was talking about him, saying he thinks he's maybe one of the most underrated running backs in the South. He'll take it this time, and he's going to be stood up and driven back. 3rd and long coming up. Radoslovich in there along with Carlton Marshall. Number 2, Carlton Marshall, will call his name a lot again tonight. You would think 35 tackles on the year, going to Texas A&M, already 3 sacks on the season, and was the Coastal Defensive Player of the Year last year.
Alabama A&M?
Yep. I'm sorry, did I say Texas A&M?
I didn't want to upgrade him yet.
Not yet.
He could end up SEC.
All right, here we go. Darnell Thomas throws it up on the far side. Some contact, incomplete. He does have a good arm, can throw the deep ball as he was trying to go to the junior Michael Jefferson there, and it'll be a 3 and out for Murphy to open things up.
Anything stand out, Vic Lockett?
Well, McGill strong offensively, you can say that without a doubt. And of course, you know, they're going to pack that good defense, good disciplined defense. And got them caught behind the chains here, so it's been a quick 3 and out for Murphy thus far.
Nick Amana on the punt, nearly had it blocked, but did a good job to get it off.
May have got a piece of it.
Down at the 45.
Yeah, that must have happened because it was almost impossible that it wasn't blocked, it seemed.
Here's the starting lineup for McGill. We didn't have a chance to get to their offense last time. Nick Long, Phillip Rim, Ellis Blackman, Cameron Broomer back after the injury, and a starter for this team, Trey Simpson, there as well. Williams, Hinton, Tolbert, and Rembert, the wide receivers. Roberson and Bubba Thompson, the quarterback, and of course the tight end, Turner McLaughlin. Legal substitution whistled. I think they may have broke the huddle with 12 against McGill. Be a 5-yard walk off and bring up 1st and 15.
How about Kendrick Haynes, starting since his freshman year, and got a lot of SEC attention too, the linebacker, number 3.
And then kind of starting in big boy football fashion here in Alabama.
You got it. 7A, probably was 6A when he started, actually. They hadn't even come up with a new classification. That's how long he's been playing.
And he gives it up the middle, and Trey Roberson has been grinding out the yards. Will pick up 2 on 1st down here.
Right on key there. Kendrick Haynes in on the tackle. One thing I'm so certain they want to see if he can stay healthy throughout the year.
Farrell, who's going to LSU. Marcus Johnson coming back after an ACL injury next year, and the sophomore Kendall Young starts. Smith Haynes, watch Brandon Rogers, 232, makes a lot of plays in that secondary filled with seniors. Bubba Thompson with pressure from the backside, and he'll get dropped. And there's Farrell right there to make the stop. Good coverage downfield by the secondary, and Farrell comes up and gets his 2nd sack of the season.
That's a big number 10.
Stretches it out there, and he shows right there why he's an LSU commit.
Fought through a block on the outside and then chased him down from the backside, and now McGill in 3rd and 17 here. Thompson looking to the right side. Trouble now, slings it out and incomplete as he was trying to go over to Williams there. That's a big stand by this Murphy defense.
Good coverage back there too.
Yeah, after giving up the big play and then their offense going 3 and out, that's a big stand.
Yeah, McGill had it in great field position, but this Murphy defense now, they've got seniors in the backside. They've got some really good D1 talent up front.
Yeah, expect them to put up a good fight.
There might have been a reason that McGill went to a gadget play with the first play.
Mahler on the punt. Blake Green back to receive high kick, and Green will stay away from it. And he'll bounce out of bounds around the 23-yard line. And Murphy will come back out here with their offense. Hey, if you want to reach out to us throughout the game, of course, you can text us up here in the booth, or you can send us an email. Hey guys at utv44.com. We'll try to get to all your emails through the game, and that's delivered to you by our friends at Papa Murphy, Taking Baked Pizza. Vic Lockett, a big fan of those. Pizzas when Vic Lockett goes to Papa Murphy. It's not
exactly.
It's not a single.
And we're not talking about slices.
Rolling out, throwing that one incomplete as it came behind A.J. Lewis.
Lockett goes to Papa Murphy's. The employees say, Papa, it's that man again. Papa Murphy says, let him in.
Yeah.
There's the Murphy offense. Dent, Howard, Robinson, Johnson, and Bowery. Jefferson, wide receiver, along with Green and Lewis. Noble in the backfield, and Nicholas Sims. And Sims stood up after a gain of maybe 1.
Guess who?
Carlton Marshall. Good guy.
Just received
nice stick.
So now it's 3rd and 9 here for Murphy. Darnell Thomas, sophomore quarterback, was not expected to start tonight. Change at the starting quarterback position, and so the young man thrown into a tough situation here tonight against a tough defense. And I'm sure Rick Cauley just wants him to get a little feel for the game, get a little flow going here early on, not try to do too much. McGill's showing blitz, and there was movement beforehand, and looks like this one will go against Murphy, and now it's going to become a 3rd and 14 back deep in their own end.
And McGill was showing a little bit of a blitz, and they were trying to make some adjustments up there. And who's going to hoop block who, and got a little bit antsy.
Defensively for McGill-Toolen, Washington, Stanley, and Moffitt, Johnson, Marshall, Radoslovich, and Banks. And in the secondary, talent back there as well. Gare, Joe Sider, Trey Young, who's going to Troy. Trey Bendoff, who joined us in the pregame show, going to Jacksonville State. 3rd and 14, 3 receivers to the bottom of the screen, and they'll roll Thomas this way, and he gets it out to Noble, and he's buried at the 25-yard line. Ball came loose. The Yellow Jackets say they have it on the near sideline, waiting for the official to make the call.
Looks like he's going to rule it.
Yeah, he's pointing.
Maintaining the ball.
Continue to point it the Murphy way is Anton Noble with his 2nd catch of the season, and not much yardage there. And another punt coming up here for Murphy.
You know, so let's watch it again, and you can decide what you think happened at the end of this play. Seemed like it got out pretty early.
Well, could have been a live ball there, but no instant replay in this league to challenge it.
Rick Colley's going to have to take a time out here. Wasn't ready for the punt team. I think, you know what, they were waiting on the punter.
You need that one.
So important to the punt team.
Yeah. He was down at the other end of the field.
Wow, that's just such a blatantly wasted timeout, but they had to do it.
Yeah, you have to make sure you're right personnel in the game. And speaking of personnel, checking in here early, guys, I got Jason Cannell and his son, big man Cameron Cannell, checking out the game. Say they're enjoying it here. Conference at their home, enjoying the McGill-Murphy game.
Hey, how about the Davidson Warriors last night? 42-6. Fred Riley and his team with a very impressive win over Foley. Tonight, Bryan, Robertsdale, Theodore, and Baker out in West Mobile. Mary G. and Fairhope, LaFleur, BC Rain, Baldwin County, and Blunt. That should be a good one as well. Saraland and Daphne. Daphne Trojans trying to get a win to start the season. 0-2 thus far. Spanish Fort down at Gulf Shores. St. Paul's opening up region play tonight. Wilcox Central, UMS Wright, so taking on Escambia County. Lots of games. Luverne taking on St. Luke's tonight. Fruitdale and Linden. Milry and Marengo, and a whole host of other games here on a typical Friday night. More pressure from McGill and another bad punt to the near sidelines. Nikamanu.
Almost may have gotten a piece of that again. Where he was just coming off the side of his foot.
Wow. McGill's going to take over at the Murphy 39-yard line. That'll go down as a 3-yard punt.
Wow. Maybe they could have gone ahead and punted with Adam. That McGill getting that pressure on that. And again, they've got such an excellent coaching staff, and you can see it. It really shows up in special teams play, Jim.
Shows up all over the field. And now Murphy's defense is going to be asked to make another stop here on a short field for the Yellow Jackets. Thompson dumps it out of the backfield. He gets it off to Brandon Hinton. Hinton trying to get to the outside. That's why Dan Brennan highlighted him on the pregame show, and he's got a first down.
Yep.
Inside the 30.
I just had a feeling this guy, he's going to show out. He loves this game. He loves the Murphy McGill game.
10th catch of the year, going to Air Force. Again, I mean, who are you going to cover? The 4 wide receivers. Who are you going to cover? And there's a Go Build Alabama first down for the Yellow Jackets. Thompson to the near side, right back to Hinton. Same play, and Hinton stops at the 20, and a flag thrown back to the 26-yard line.
Well, they were locked up pretty well twice now. The wide receivers have done a great job blocking downfield, giving Hinton some room, but it looks like this time maybe they were hanging on a little too long.
Yeah, it's a hold. It'll wipe out the play.
Talk about a guy who should be a really good blocker, wide receiver, is Marlon Williams.
Yeah.
He's got the size.
Yeah, the defensive back had the leverage, and he was trying to break free, and he saw that jersey come away from his shoulder pad, so they're going to call that every time, anytime that jersey stretches out.
Back to the 36. Yeah, 1st and 18 for Bubba Thompson and the Yellow Jackets. Thompson throws that one over the head of Hinton. That's incomplete. Thompson coming into the game completing 77% of his passes.
First year as the starter at quarterback, too.
Yeah. 44 of 57 for 481 yards, 6 touchdowns, and just 1 interception.
Well, Dan was raving about him in the first game, and I told Dan I'm going to keep an eye on him to see what he's about the rest of the year.
2nd and 18. Again, coming out of the backfield this time. Able to get that one off to Brian Hill, but the Murphy defense stiffens, and it's going to bring up 3rd down here for the Yellow Jackets.
They're just making this Murphy defense run side to side. They wear out some of those big guys up front.
See if they can wear him down for the second half.
Yeah.
Haynes in there to help on the tackle. Thompson looking over the middle of the field, trying to go to the end zone. Marlon Williams, he's got him for the touchdown.
Nice all-hands catch.
Yeah, and he just drifted like a great center fielder back to his left a little bit. He really did a great job of tracking the ball. They talk about ball skills, Jim. That's what they're talking about right there.
Yeah, he got behind
We got a
Sheldon
couple of
Crawford.
flags down, don't we?
I think that might be maybe a little unsportsmanlike after he made the catch. We'll see here.
Yeah, and he's asking the coaches of Murphy.
See here, he makes
He just makes a little celebration dance. Nothing too extravagant, I didn't think. A little bit of Sherman shake from back in the day.
Yeah, unsportsmanlike, and they will mark that off.
That's not going to go over well.
No.
We got a nice turnout here tonight, too, as you would expect,
Yeah.
right? But they can see they're just still coming in.
And this is Murphy McGill. Nice weather, not too hot.
No.
Nice night for football.
And now the direct snap throw over the middle, and they go for 2, and they get it. As they're able to fire that one incomplete to get it off to Oakley Coleman, the junior.
Yeah, the linebacker's sitting right there waiting for that. He just didn't react. Caught him off guard, I think.
15-0 Yellow Jackets here. And we're not quite halfway through the opening quarter. McGill on top early in this one. Marlon Williams on a nice ball from Bubba Thompson for the 2nd score of the night. And the shake drew the penalty. Impressive start by McGill-Toolen, scoring on 2 of their first 3 possessions. And they have the lead 15-0. Now you got a sophomore quarterback making his first start. Now you're playing from behind. Biggest rivalry biggest rival you have.
Salty defense on the McGill side.
Yeah, got to make something happen here.
You know how McGill's been making the big plays. It's exactly what Murphy's going to have to do with the South. I feel it's like a little bit like the opener all over again. And I'll explain after the kickoff.
Kickoff back at the 20 and up to the 35. And that's where they will start. Marion Williams coming back in there to do some returning. Good field position here for Murphy. See if they can make something go with it as you look here at Ladd-Peebles Stadium. Great night for high school football, as Vic Lockett was saying. I want to thank the Sheriff's Offices of Mobile County and the Baldwin County Sheriff's Office as well, and the Drug Education Council, and GoBuildAlabama.com, and our friends at Pepsi. Kid Nicholas Sims fights forward for maybe 2. And Sims, talented running back, 5'10", 196 pounds.
He's going to have to make some plays tonight. And much like we talked about Spanish Fort in that opener, it's just going to be tough for them to string together a long drive against this McGill defense, especially with the young quarterback. McGill's had the big plays. That's what Murphy's going to need.
And that one dropped as Blake Green not helping out his sophomore quarterback on that one.
Yeah, I think, though, it's still first quarter. Cawley's probably not trying to throw the playbook out completely or the game plan. But one more score, and he's just really going to be very hard-pressed not to.
And we'll get a heat timeout here with 5:46 to go in the opening quarter. Murphy and McGill here on UTV 44. The Cannonball.
I like that. Yeah.
I like that a lot. Jim Cox, Dan Brennan, Vic Lockett, Tara Reeves on the sidelines, Jared Kihas and our entire crew here tonight. 3rd and long for Murphy over the middle, tipped up in the air and incomplete. It's the young sophomore Darnell Thomas trying to force that one through some traffic, trying to get something to go, and now Murphy
was definitely crowded in there. It was a nice play design, but the McGill defense just reacted very well.
Darnell Thomas, quarterback, will come back to punt after a couple bad punts by Nikamanu. So Thomas will stand at about his own 27. Much better kick. This one taken by Hinton, trying to go sideways, looking to turn up, and a flag at the 29. And it's going to back McGill up even more. So we're into region play here. This is the 3rd game this season for McGill-Toolen, their 2nd region game. Murphy playing their first game the season was a jamboree game over in Florida, and they got the win last week. So there's our 7A region standings. See McGill-Toolen 2-0. And Foley was defeated last night.
Yeah, I'm not sure about all that.
Yeah, Foley was defeated last night by Davidson. Davidson, impressive to get the win here tonight, but regardless, you have Murphy with they're 1-0 in the region. McGill 1-0 in the region. And the penalty against the Yellow Jackets brings them back to their 15-yard line. There's Oakley Coleman splitting out. He caught that 2-point conversion. Looking his way, and Bubba Thompson tried to get to him, but slipped a little bit. Coleman.
Yeah, I think he tried to guide that one into him, and instead of just turning it loose and letting the receiver make a play on it. First bad ball I've seen him throw in 2 games.
I was thinking the same thing.
And that wasn't egregiously bad.
But it was as bad as Bubba's thrown.
Yes.
Bubba on the keeper right up the middle in a huge hole, and he dives down, and he's got the first down up to the 28-yard line.
Lost me on the fake that time. I was falling the back. Running back. Just pulled out the last second and just turns upfield. No defense there to greet him, so he says, I'll take that, kick the stick to get a first down.
He gets the top-end speed in a hurry, doesn't he?
He does. Runs a little high, but he's up high because he's high.
6'2". Worth of high for Bubba Thompson. Again, he's committed to play baseball at Auburn. Laughlin out to the right. Give it off, and they look. Roberson going to be forced out of bounds around the 30-yard line. Roberson's been grinding out yards this year. They're kind of looking for him to have one of those big runs that he's certainly capable of ripping off. So far through the first quarter, Larry Rembert, Jalen Tolbert, 2 talented wide receivers, haven't even touched the ball yet.
Yep.
For McGill.
It's just only one ball.
Yep. Straight up the middle. To the 30 goes Roberson, and 3rd down coming up for the Yellow Jackets.
It's the muddle huddle for the McGill offense. Get on the ball and get the play.
3rd and 7, and Jalen Tolbert looked like he got started a little too soon over there on the right side.
And I don't think the ball was coming his way because they had something cooking over here to the left.
You know, when up in the booth, when Vic's like emphatically pointing down the field, like we should really notice what he's pointing at, right, Dan?
Yeah, I think the defense was not aligned correctly on that one.
He played in a national championship game against Miami. Last time I checked, me and you did not.
3rd and 12. Thompson sails it on the right side and in stride. He's able to get it to Jalen Tolbert, who breaks a tackle. And a 75-yard touchdown pass for the Yellow Jackets.
The big play, Big Lockett, and there it is again.
Again, and every time the ball's in the air, it looks like the receiver is not going to catch up to it. Apparently, these guys have been working together. They know a little bit more than we do.
I think so.
What a pass. Thompson, who said Tolbert hadn't touched it yet.
Yep. And this guy's got nice hands, too, the way they catch it. Vic was talking about that with the touchdown before. Tolbert, Rembert, Hinton, Williams, and then the tight end, McGill-Toolen, also with a touchdown tonight.
Second touchdown pass for Tolbert. He had jumped offside previously, and Vic was pointing to the near side, but looked like he may have been excited about that go route down the sideline there. And then now we'll see a PAT coming up. Charles Green for the Yellow Jackets, and it is 22-0. Tara Reeves was just telling us before that last drive that Kendrick Haynes was down on the sideline saying his team has to just calm down and play Panther football. And there's no doubt Murphy's gotten a little rattled here in the first quarter.
Well, I'll tell you what, 21 points or 22 points in the first quarter. It's time to be rattled. And, yeah, that leadership I talked about from Haynes, it has got to come out tonight defensively. And they've got to figure a way to stop the big play, maybe get some rush on Bubba Thompson so he doesn't have time to back there to wind up and throw that long pass.
Haynes has really not been the problem tonight.
Yeah, that's not. It's going over his head, isn't it? But maybe he can get his buddy Nick Farrell to get a little rush up front, and that'll teach Thompson about sending in that pocket and just winding it up and having the time to throw those long passes like that.
That's a fair point.
Mahler.
Big play. I'm telling you, big play from, and that's what the Panthers are going to need.
And that's what, and Rick Colley was saying that's what we can't let them have. He said we got to be good on special teams. We can't give them big plays. Well,
he's had to go to his backup punter, so the special teams are not doing well either.
Williams inside the 10, and he'll get dragged down at the 20-yard line. Good special teams tackle for the Yellow Jackets.
I'll tell you what, the crowd is into this game too early on, and I think it's coming from the McGill side.
I mean, McGill's fan base so excited about where this program is going. You know, just what the school has done. The state championship for the first time last year. Of course, then they followed up with a basketball state championship. The fans have always, the high school fan base has always been spectacular there, the way they're into the game, and now the alumni so involved. Blake Green able to get this one up the near side, and he's got a chance to make a big play for Murphy. He does. He's got a first down almost all the way out to near midfield.
Yeah, that's what the doctor ordered.
28-yard pickup for the Panthers. Green, 5'11", 170 pounds, his fourth catch of the season. Took one for 60. At the middle, and now here Nicholas Sims comes up with a first down for Murphy.
Now the Panthers showing a little bit of pride and got some cooking here.
And just to get a little tempo, just to get them in a little tempo, a little rhythm. They've not had much of that.
No, they haven't had any of it.
And now the first themselves with movement on the right side. Markel Johnson jumps, and that'll back them up.
The way that looked to me, guys, I'm going to put that on the new quarterback. He was in a rhythm and had his cadence going. Not only do the defense sometimes pick up on it, but the offense guy was kind of in a rhythm, you know, getting the ball snapped at that certain point, and he kind of held off and
don't make a bend over longer than they have to, right?
Yeah, those big uglies, they don't like to do that. They want to get that momentum going.
First and 15. Sims. Talked about Caleb Ross talking about him before the first game, said really underappreciated as a back, but he said he really has got some great speed. And if he can bounce it to the outside, he can run away from a lot of players.
I've been impressed the way he's been pressing it in the hole there too, finishing those runs. Nice little short choppy steps, which allows him to make cuts.
2nd and 13.
Got pretty good size, too, almost 200 pounds.
Looking to float it up on the near side, able to make the grab and stay. Yeah, we stepped out of bounds.
I thought he was in, but it was nice.
A.J. Lewis was well covered, went up and pulled it down, and the official had a great look, was staring right at the sideline there. But Lewis, the junior, big size, 6'3", goes up and hauls this one in as Thomas drops it to him.
And he comes back looking at the coach and said, keep feeding the big beast. Oh, good call by the refs. He did step out.
Up to the 15. First time Murphy's got something going here. Now they give it off. Sims trying to turn the corner. He's going to get strung out and driven out of bounds. Good pursuit by the Yellow Jackets.
Perimeter defense that those Yellow Jackets normally do. You can't get them to the edge like that because they've got great technique, use good leverage, and you saw it right there.
I was going to say, and it's not just speed, it's the way they play.
Correct.
Ward Bronell was over there giving chase, as was Cameron Banks. They lose 3. It's so big for Murphy to get some points here on this drive. Thomas looking up to the far side, trying to go up top. Some contact as Jefferson was covered back there by Eric Gare.
Yeah, definitely letting them play back there.
You can see a little more confidence coming from Thomas as well, putting the ball up. He's got some big receivers. Lewis is 6'3", Jefferson 6'3".
Crucial down for him, though.
Yep, 3rd and 13 from the 18. This one thrown over the head of Blake Green. Now 4th down coming up.
I think I'd get some points if our kicker could get it in there from this distance.
35-yard kick. And it doesn't look like they're thinking kick at all. They're thinking try to get the first down.
And you got a good 15 yards for it.
Low snap. Thomas throws it near side. Picked off at the 5. All the way up the near sideline, making a move at the 30. Still on his feet is Trey Young. Reverses field. He's got some blockers. He's knocked down at the 10, and the ball comes loose. Blake Green was back there and saved the touchdown.
What a play by Blake Green.
Young
what an effort play.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Jimmy almost came up with the ball.
Yeah.
Green not only saved the touchdown, he got the ball, knocked it loose.
Asking a whole lot of a young quarterback who's just getting the start a couple of days ago.
Look at this athleticism.
There he's coming. He's on the right side of your screen. He's going to come all the way inside the hash.
He's been running for 60 yards, too. Look at that. Wow.
That's the guy you want on your team, huh?
No kidding.
So now Murphy with a chance to cut into the lead. Instead, they turn it over on 4th down, and now McGill. Thompson able to get it out to Hinton. Hinton looking to turn the corner. Dives, and the ball comes loose. There's a flag at the 8. It's probably going to be a hold or a block in the back there. We'll back up the Yellow Jackets, it appears. And indeed it will.
You talk about the hustle play, the unselfish play. I saw the Oregon State coach was talking about one of his players last night in last night's game, during that last night's game, and he was talking about one guy, running back, linebacker. He can play anything, and he's willing to do it all, and is a really good player. And he said, you get 30 or 40 of those guys, now you get things rolling.
No doubt about it, but it's rare you're going to get 30 or 40 when they're in one group.
You're right.
How about the start of Bubba Thompson, 4 of 6, 132 yards and 2 touchdowns.
I tell you what, you don't have to be a mathematician to know he's doing well looking at those numbers. And I am a far cry away from being a mathematician.
We're shocked.
Yeah.
Thompson at penalty, back to the 18, wide open over the middle of the field. He's got Larry Rippert for the score.
So what's that making? 5 of 7, 3 touchdowns.
And he had, let's see, yeah, the USC commit has caught one, Williams.
And McGill, 28-0 with 1:09 to go. in the opening quarter. Thompson. Little look off to the far side and open in the middle of the field, and the PAT is good, and it's 29-0 in favor of McGill, who has won 11 straight games coming into tonight's game. And, you know, they had the big triple overtime win over Davidson last week. In a game, Caleb Ross said, you know, maybe it wasn't our best effort. He said, but Davidson's a very good football team. Then he sees us at midfield tonight. He's like, I thought Davidson last night.
Yeah, he said, I don't feel so bad now.
He said, I'm just proud we were able to get the win in that game, and now they come out here and they have got it going. They have won 5 of the last 7 against their rival Murphy.
And Jim, you casually mentioned it there, and Dan pointed this guy out in the first game. Bubba Thompson, that was a big time play there. How he looked the receiver off, and you know, got the safety and everybody moving over a little bit. Made the guy coming across the middle just that much wide open.
You wouldn't think you would see something that subtle from a quarterback starting his first season as the quarterback.
Correct.
And it's been injuries that have held Thompson back.
Yep. Otherwise, you know, like we said a couple weeks ago, we might be talking about a third-year starter.
Right.
Mahler sends this one back. Marion Williams inside the 5, and he's hit and dropped to the 15-yard line. Special teams.
You know, we were talking about 30 or 40 on one team with all that hustle. McGill's got by 10 or 11, I'll say, though, at least.
At least.
Trying to find a 19 on the roster for McGill. That gentleman is Prompts Advanced Collision. Part of our sponsor here on high school football on every Friday night. Sponsors Terrace Sideline Report. Greer's, 100 years of Greer's. Also the Alabama Air National Guard. Give us some passing stats here tonight, and they'll be impressive. They'll be downright gaudy on one side. They'll put Blake Green in the backfield this time, and they'll hand him the ball and up to the 26-yard line. Good pickup on first down there for Murphy.
Well, if it continues like this, I don't think those numbers will get too gaudy, Jim, because I think Ross will start looking towards next week. Start killing it down just a little bit.
Remember this game last year? Remember McGill scored 4 touchdowns in a span of like 4.5 minutes and then hung on?
It was bizarre.
Yeah,
it really was.
Really hung on to win at the end of the game. So, you know, and like
I would love to see a repeat.
Like Dan Brennan has said, you know, we've seen some strange things happen here on Friday nights where games look like it's totally out of control, and all of a sudden it gets a little wonky.
It's almost like Ladd-Peebles is haunted. We've just seen some wild things at the end of games.
Well, is it the 13th? Is it Halloween tonight?
It's not. And the other thing is, too, when you factor in we've been doing this 16 years, we were bound to see some things happen right in that span of time.
First down here for Murphy. And
nice job there by 46.
good penetration there. James Stallworth, the senior, able to get in there and blow that one up. We are through one. And McGill-Toolen ranked number 1 in the state, defending 7A champs. Would you bet against them right now? They lead by a score of 29-0 after 1. One quarter complete here at Ladd, and wow, McGill-Toolen 29-0. Very impressive to open things up. Jim Cox, Dan Brennan, Vic Lockett, Tara Reeves on the sideline, Jared Kihas in the truck. Marion Williams able to take that pass. Brian Anderson, our statistician, he's been very busy on the McGill side of the ledger. Third down coming up. 3rd and 9 for Murphy. If you're just joining us, Murphy's starting quarterback, the junior, out of tonight's game, and Darnell Thomas forced in to start the sophomore, and he's going to be hit this time and driven back inside the 15. Again, great pressure. James Stallworth in there again, his 3rd tackle for a loss on the season. You know, Murphy, you're so used to seeing that run option play, you know, just the read option, and it's just that's not in their playbook here tonight. And really, I think that's a big change to make any week, but especially going up against this salty defense, as you call them.
You know, it's too bad for the entire Murphy team that that action had to be taken with the quarterbacks not here tonight.
Thomas to punt. Good kick. Hinton watches an angle to the near side. He was looking to pick it up, but instead it takes a good Murphy roll to the 26-yard line.
That's those Air Force smarts, Air Force Academy smarts you saw right there.
Now Murphy will.
Yeah, they've got to string together a drive and see if they can get something going here. And again, I know it's just
their defense has got to make a stop. You know, they've made one stop thus far, and it was the second possession of the game. And since then, it's been rolling for McGill-Toolen.
Vic, you ever been on the wrong side of one of these?
Oh, I've been on plenty of them. Plenty of them. As defensively, this is a night where you pad your stats. Tons of tackles.
Thompson looking, fires it out to Hinton in space, and Hinton gets around Carlos Mason, still on his feet, and dives. And he'll be about 2 yards short of the first down, but a nice 8-yard pickup there by Hinton. Second and short. Coming up for the Yellow Jackets. Start of 3 straight road games for McGill. So play tonight. Roberson going to be hit. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. They play tonight here on the road. And next week they're at Foley. Then they're at Blunt. 3 straight on the road. They do have an off week next week mixed in there.
That Blunt game is by choice. You know, that's one of those games where out of region.
Yep. They play 2 non-region games this year. Spanish Fort and Blunt.
Should be a good matchup.
3rd and 2. Double tight. And they go right up the middle. And Roberson has got the first down for McGill. And that is a Go Build Alabama first down for McGill-Toolen.
At the point of attack there, McGill just won it outright. Just good line surge. Give the backs an area to press the ball. And he presses on through to kick the sticks for a first down.
Thompson gives it off. Roberson trying to turn the corner on the left side. I think it forced out of bounds right at the first down, or at the line of scrimmage. And second, I'll give it 1 second and 9 coming up.
Nice defense by Murphy that time. Safety come up there and gun it. Funnel that stuff inside. Out.
Second, I'll actually say he lost one now as they correct the spot. 2nd and 11 for the Jackets. They're going to set up a screen over the middle, and that one did not rule if the catch was made, but there was some contact, and then a flag gets made as they were trying to get it to Roberson out of the backfield.
Are they going to call? Yep, the Saban rule. Man downfield.
Yeah, that one took a little longer, and he got a little further downfield than you usually see on the screenplay.
Now, who's this Saban you speak of? You ready for some college football, guys?
Oh, yes.
Holiday weekend, college football.
Man.
Got it started last night. Tennessee game. Watching that like.
You know, I saw that same Appalachian State team hang on for their lives here against South Alabama last year. I couldn't believe my eyes. I really thought that Tennessee would just have their way.
I did too.
On the lines of scrimmage.
Yeah.
I thought it'd just be a matter of time before they just began to dominate that. I don't know if it's Tennessee's ineffectiveness or that team just played as well as they could defensively.
I think that team's got some talent, and I guess they're probably on South Alabama's schedule this year. So our boys better strap it up here locally and get ready to play that group.
They didn't have big talent. That was the thing that was so amazing. They were so undersized, especially on the defensive line. It was amazing that they played as well as they did.
Well, we see that every weekend and week out with this group right here, these Jackets.
Ineligible downfield.
They don't scare anybody getting off the bus, but you look at the scoreboard and it's like 29-0 second quarter.
Oh, yeah. What do we got here,
So
Jim?
they're calling it on Murphy.
I don't know if there's 2 flags. And we're not getting the feed from the official because it said it was an illegal downfield against McGill. They went to back it off. And that's why I was kind of wondering why Coach Colley wasn't declining the penalty.
Well, they went over to explain to Coach Colley, so in his, judging from his body language, he's okay with whatever they conveyed to him. But I'm at a loss.
2nd and 1. Give scrap the middle, and Roberson stood up there. Great penetration.
And big man there, stuff in the middle like he's asked to do.
Yeah, that's
Jalen Randall.
Yeah, Randall came in and made that stop. There's 310-pound sophomore.
Earning some playing time.
3rd down. And still a yard here. Brian Hill in the backfield. This one tipped in the air. Thompson was trying to gun it to the near side, and a hand got up, and it'll bring up 4th down right around midfield. 4th and 1. Caleb Ross quickly sends the punting team out.
How about that?
Hey, still a lot of football to be played. This is the 2nd quarter with 8:15 in it. Nice decision by Coach Ross.
I think you're thinking, hey, don't give any momentum, pin him back deep.
I agree.
Bad snap. And Maller still able to get it off and rolls out of bounds at the 10. And let's send it down to the sidelines, and let's get our Gulf Coast offices of Alexander Shannara, Scholastic Athlete, and our first one here tonight with Tara Reeves.
Thank you, Jim. I have Emma Bearden here, and Emma, you're the captain of your soccer team at Murphy High School. What is it like leading the girls on the soccer team?
It's an honor to lead the soccer team. We have a great coach, a great bunch of girls. We really get along. It's a lot of fun. Soccer's a great sport. It's an honor.
And I also hear that you participated in helping out with Camp Smile. Can you tell us more about that and your involvement?
Camp Smile is a summer camp for people of all ages with disabilities to go to camp, get paired up with a counselor like myself, other teenagers, and just enjoy a great week of fun.
Awesome, Emma. Well, on behalf of the Gulf Coast offices of Alexander Shannara, we would like to present you with this plaque and a $250 scholarship. Thank you.
2nd and 5 after Blake Green picks up 5, and we'll tell you all about Emma in just 1 second. Is this one thrown to the near side and knocked down, and 3rd down coming up? Yeah, and now a flag on the sideline at the end of the play. We'll get to that in a second. Emma Bearden, 4.88 is the GPA, the senior. Of course, she's in the IB program there, and just everything you can possibly in for your honor roll. It's either going to Birmingham Southern or Sewanee University of the South. And see one of the Murphy players being brought off on the sideline there. It's Christopher Dent. Looks like the flag.
You know, some of these kids, you look at their grade point averages, and they show up to colleges, and they're just appointed chancellor. I mean, you got 4.88.
And add to that a couple of $100 you got.
$250 scholarship as well. And brought to you by our friends at the Gulf Coast offices of Alexander Shannara. And Murphy now pinned back inside their own 10, 3rd and 13.
Tough spot for the young quarterback.
No doubt.
Blitz being shown. Jackets coming. Looking to go up top on the far side. Good coverage, but out of bounds as he was just trying to make something happen.
You know, the young guy also just put on top of it. He knows television's here tonight.
Yeah.
He's playing in front of as big a crowd as he's ever played. And we've got a really nice turnout here at Ladd tonight, right?
Huge crowd, as you would expect.
And all our friends at home tuning in as well. So, yeah, you're right. You know, as a player, that does stick in your mind, and you think about it. We used to always say, hey, man, Keith Jackson calling the game. Pre-game.
Get ready.
Get ready. Play. You don't want to get drawn up.
Look at McGill with 10 on the line of scrimmage. And we'll drop a couple back. Thomas, and it's blocked. Pressure coming on the far side. Ball loose up in the hands of Larry Rembert. Touchdown, McGill.
Caught it out of the air.
Well, they've gotten a piece of a couple already, and now this one was just flat out blocked.
Yeah, Trey Bendolph, I think, was the one who came in and got the block. And
he was a pregame guest.
And when in the air, Larry Rembert is there. And there's Bendolph, almost untouched, lays out perfectly, Vic Lockett, like they teach it.
Yep, exactly. And basically, he just returned a punt right there from the 5 or 8 yard line.
That's a punt return.
Yeah, he made the stats there.
And the PAT is good, and there's going to be a flag for roughing the kicker as well. As
tell you what,
Green,
guys.
yeah, got hit. It's going sideways quickly here.
Yeah, I was about to say, you know, once you get the offense and the defense not doing well, and then you get special teams, it's just sometimes it rains, it pours.
Penalties.
Yeah, penalties you add on top of that.
That's a 15-yarder, and you know it was a penalty. It was a penalty after the whistle that backed them up on that third down. Got them on third down back there. Something was said over on the near sidelines or a push, and now you get a personal foul on the PAT. It's going to let McGill kick it off from near midfield. And it's all McGill 36-0. And we've played 5 minutes into the second quarter. And more of our friends that bring you high school football every Friday night here on UTV 44, Premier Motorsports. They bring you our player of the week each and every week. We'll have nominees for you at the end of tonight's game. Faulkner State, our educator spotlight each and every week. And Zaxby's, they feed the crew. It's a tall challenge. I don't know what's a bigger challenge. Murphy coming back 36-0 or feeding this crew.
Well, our crew works hard enough where they build up that appetite.
Yeah.
Well, I always get me at least one finger.
I know,
Just
I
to
see you
tease
down
I
there.
get one of those as well a lot.
I think Lockett just likes to bond with the crew.
So McGill will kick off from the Murphy 45-yard line after the penalty. And Charles Mahler may try to just put this one right through the uprights. Instead, he pooches it to the far side. Green takes it inside the 20, and Green right up the middle of the field, and up to the 27-yard line. And that'll give us a chance to get us to our trivia contest tonight, brought to you by New Horizons Credit Union. Murphy, one state championship. Their 91st year of football. They've won one state championship. 1983 defeated Austin 7-0. They scored on their first drive of the game, and then driving rainstorm held off. Came up with some big stops in the second half. Who's the Panthers coach?
Oh, yeah. I see the big guy right now. I just can't think of his name.
All right, well.
I got you. You want me to give it to you?
Well, not now, Vic Lockett. That's why we asked the question.
I've been known to be wrong.
So is Dan Brennan.
Not too often.
Confidently calling his shot 2 weeks ago.
Not too often.
I just knew what I knew.
Yeah, this particular coach, good guy. He was a part of the All-Star game when I played in it. It's me and one of the coaches that hung around and helped out.
You know, if you combine the three of us in the booth, we played in one Alabama-Mississippi All-Star game.
Yep.
And he had a commanding presence, and he wasn't my coach. When he walked up, it was respect immediately.
6-yard pickup. Sims hit at the line of scrimmage and has to spin the other way to maybe fall forward for one.
I mean, that was a classic headbutt right there.
If Rick had his druthers, they'd be able to grind out a few first downs on the ground.
Yep.
Run the clock a little bit. That sounds crazy when you're down 36, but he just, he doesn't want McGill to have much of the football. They've been so explosive.
3rd and 3. Fired to the far side, and that's incomplete. Was looking to get that one over there to Lewis, who's got a catch earlier tonight. And punt team will come back on. And Darnell Thomas.
Which is a danger in itself.
Yeah, has been.
And we'll take a heat-related timeout here with 5.5 to go in the first half. All Yellow Jackets on top 36-0. They've scored on offense. Special teams have been great tonight. Look downtown.
Beautiful.
Kind of got
beautiful.
the Murphy blue going right there. We need something to
inspire them. Yeah.
They're down a big hole, 36-0 in the second quarter. High snap, return on, and Thomas has punted the ball well tonight. Fair catch called for at the 29-yard line.
When he's had a chance.
Yep.
Yeah, if he hadn't been harassed, yes.
And now here comes McGill out there, and boy, now we were talking about the relationship between Caleb Ross and Rick Cawley, and boy, if you're, you know, a lot of coaches say, hey, it's not our job to keep the game close, and I think both would agree with that, but boy, you do feel bad for your coaching compadre over there on the far sidelines. You know, it's like,
yeah,
well,
I don't know where you put that in your list of priorities right now. If you're Caleb Ross.
Well, they bring in
Sheldon,
right
now, exactly.
Sheldon Lehman is why I started talking about that. They bring in the backup quarterback, dump it off here to Hinton, and goes up the far side, and he's going to have a first down.
But if he still has the 4 wideouts.
Sure. You know, when I was talking about those numbers may not be so gaudy.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's a go Alabama first down.
It's a long season. Freaky things could happen.
But
Ask the Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah, but you got a quarterback as great as he looks. He hasn't started very many games. You got to get him. You still need to get him reps. You still want him in there.
I know where you're coming from, Jim, but look like that dude has had enough reps.
He doesn't look rusty, does he?
No, he does not.
Hill breaks the tackle, and he's got a first down still on his feet and knocked out of bounds. And now another flag as that one continued on after the play. And it looked like Hill, he lost his helmet. And there was a flag at the end of that one.
Maybe a little bit out of bounds. But, Jim, yeah, I agree with you wholeheartedly. You know, you have a young quarterback. You want him to get as many game time reps as you can, but Bubba may be one of those exceptions.
Brian Hill here, helmet to helmet, still on his feet right there. Really wasn't much after the... Ooh. Oh, that one of the trainers or someone over there that got...
A trainer or a ball boy.
Yeah. Wasn't really a lot of contact, actually, after the whistle there. Might have been his face mask of the Murphy player. May have got him in the face.
But there was a late shove, too, Jim. There's no getting around that. Way out of bounds. Watch again. Helmet comes off soon. There it comes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Bang. Wow.
Yeah. 13's not knowing where he is, having any awareness.
You got a kid that just got a face mask in his face. And then the dominoes start falling, and including a 5th grader from St. Ignatius or something like that.
At the 30. Lehman tosses it to the near side. And
Good D.
Running out of bounds was Hinton as Mesa was coming up to close the gap there.
And the defensive backs got rid of the blockers on that play and ushered the runner out of bounds. Give big Jalen Randall a break. Come out of the game, big nose tackle, sophomore.
2nd and 11 from the 31.
Defense has been on the field a while.
Lehman, 6 foot, 180-pound sophomore, throws it well, and this time he's able to get to Roberson. Picks up a couple. Yeah, we were talking about get Bubba Thompson some more experience, but then what we were just talking about as well, if it weren't for injuries, you know, maybe even starting more.
He'd have had it. Yeah.
Sure.
Really a spectacular talent just to, he passes your eye test in a hurry. And look at the score, 36-0.
But again, I don't totally disagree with Jim's position on that, you know, getting a young guy some reps. But long season, and that guy just looks really, really good.
3rd and 8. Lehman feeling pressure, takes it off and turns up the field, and knocked out of bounds at the 25-yard line. Lehman looks poised.
Yeah.
The sophomore quarterback stepping in here.
Quick feet.
Yep. That play kind of broke down and didn't get rattled. And now we'll see a long field goal attempt. Attempted here. The Yellow Jackets, this one will be a 44-yard attempt. Charles Green. And it hits the upright. No good. Hit the bottom of the bleachers, actually. Green tried to get it there and pushed it to the left. Sometimes watching TV, people are like, what are you looking at? People are watching like, what are you looking at? All right, let's go down and get another sideline report. Tara Reeves is down there. Tara.
Thanks, Jim. If you guys have noticed the number 78 on the Panthers helmets, that's in remembrance of defensive lineman Quitman Clark, who died in a car accident 2 weeks ago. Coach Rick Colley said it's a parent and a coach's worst nightmare. Everyone on the team referred to him as Shrek. He was only 18 years old. He graduated last year, and Coach Colley says about Clark, he was just a big, lovable guy. They'll be wearing the number 78 all season long, guys.
Tough stuff for the Murphy Panthers.
Remember the name? Remember the player?
Sure, absolutely. 2nd and 7. Coming up here for Murphy's. We're down to a couple minutes to go in the first half. Into the 44 high school football game of the week. Sims stood up at the 25-yard line. And also Stallworth in there again. See Sims.
This McGill defense just treats running backs like crash test dummies. I mean, they just are violent at the point of attack. They're not only efficient, Vic, they're where they need to be. But, man, they form, tackle, and get your attention.
Good technique. Credit Coach Ross on getting them ready.
3rd and 4. Sims trying to come to the near side, wants to get the corner, and there's a flag, and he'll get shoved out of bounds. And Trey Young coming up from safety to make the spot, and they have a hold on that one as he was trying to get around the corner, and indeed it is. And Yellow Jackets will decline that. You'd expect to force Murphy to punt. So we're down to 1:13 to go here in the first half. Murphy next week will take on Mary G. McGill-Toolen, as we said, they're off week next week. Darnell Thomas.
Mary Montgomery's a bit of an improved team this year, huh?
For sure, on the uptick.
Yep.
Whistle prior to the kick.
It's a big school out there, you know. They got
got some students, and eventually they're going to be back, and they may be, like you said, on the uptick this year.
It's offside, going to be whistled against McGill here on 4th and 6.
Yeah, the end man on the line got a little bit antsy.
Yeah. You weren't so pinned back in your own end, you'd think, all right, 4th and 1 here. But pinned back down in your own end. Murphy does have 2 timeouts left. Thomas with a short kick. And now picked up. Hinton watched it bounce, decides to pick it up, and reverses all the way up the far side of the field. And Hinton at the 50, at the 40, and up to the 34-yard line.
Is that one of those no, yeah?
Yeah, you could.
I mean, that baby just landed in his lap.
Yeah, he had no choice to go ahead and try to field it.
Yeah.
I think he was trying to stop it from going deeper.
Right.
They just can't help themselves either, can they, when it's coming at them like this?
It's like, hey, I'll just take it and run with it.
All right, more of our partners here on high school football each and every Friday night. Papa Murphy's Take and Bake Pizza.
Yes.
The Gulf Coast offices of Alexander Shannara. New Horizons Credit Union. Sheldon Lehman, and quarterback, and the ball comes loose on the snap there, and McGill fell back on it. Bring up second down.
And it looks like the ball kind of hit his knee as he started to pull back out of there.
McGill takes the timeout. Caleb Ross, very animated over there on the sideline.
Serious teaching moment.
I was
maybe.
going to say, kind of an odd timeout to take with 35 seconds left in the half, but he does not want sloppiness.
Yeah, when you get accustomed to perfection, you expect it even out of the second group.
Coach Ross, third season here at McGill. Of course, coached 1 year up at Thompson as a head coach, then was at Spanish Fort as an offensive coordinator over there, and then came over to McGill as the offensive coordinator when Bart Sessions was the head coach, and then was appointed head coach at McGill. And
excellent appointment.
yes, he from Prattville, spent a lot of years coaching up there at Prattville. Beat a lot of teams down here when he was at Prattville. This one tossed over the head of the intended receiver, trying to go to Roberson on a screen there.
Oh, Roberson was even looking back for the ball yet.
No, and he had some blockers with him.
He did.
Yeah, the quarterback was under great duress, and he just had to release it.
Yeah, some of the big guys from Murphy got to make some plays. Talking about Haynes and Farrell.
Yep.
3rd and 10, and there is Farrell, able to get Sheldon Lehman and bring him down.
Take that, Dan Brennan.
Yeah, well, that's what I wanted to see.
See
Exactly.
Is Murphy going to take a timeout and make McGill punt here, or are they just happy to go and get to the locker room? And it looks like Coach Cawley is ready to put this first half
I think
behind him for sure.
Otherwise, you're kind of overthinking it.
Coach Cawley out on the field. He's also having a little teachable moment out there as well. What a first half it's been, as we'll wait for Tara to catch up with Caleb Ross as he makes his way off the field, and he's going to tell us there's a lot of football left to be played in.
Yes, he will.
in this one. And Tara has caught up with the head coach of the Yellow Jackets. Tara.
Coach, that first double pass play of the game where you connected for the touchdown, who drew that up, and how long have you been holding that in your back pocket?
Well, we knew early in the week. We thought we had a chance for it. Actually, truthfully, we stole it from Spanish Fort. They did it to us first play of the game and should have hit it. And I said, man, that's one we need to use. And I thought it was a great time. It's one of those times that works just like you draw it up on the board.
And you said earlier this week that you were going up against a physical Panther defense. You've already put up 36 in the first half. Your offense is making this look easy.
Well, we're hitting big plays, but what we're not doing is not controlling the box. They're still very good in the box, and that's the things that I want to preach to our team. We're going to challenge our guys that we don't play to a score, play to a standard. We kind of got a little bit out of focus right there. Just we lined up one time with 10 guys on the field on defense. That's the things that I want to see, like 0-0. Let's go play. Let's go compete at the level we know we can go compete at.
All right, thanks, Coach, and good luck.
Coach Caleb Ross, always coaching. Stan said 36-0, the halftime score at the end of tonight's game. We will have, we've got some players that we can nominate for player of the game. Last week, Logan Morgan from Spanish Fort. Wow, really kind of did it all for the Toros with their win over Daphne.
He had a spectacular game, didn't he?
Yeah, had that one, 49-yard touchdown reception there. Played quarterback some. Had a 90-yard punt return that was wiped off because of a penalty.
Yeah, I mean, he did. He did more than the stats even showed.
What a young athlete, great athlete he is. So versatile on the field. Would start at quarterback for a lot of teams. Starts at wide receiver and really talented there. And here had the long touchdown pass as well, or the long completion, I guess it was, and that helped seal the victory for Spanish Fort. And Premier Motorsports is your player of the game each week. Go to local15tv.com, click on high school football game of the week, and you can vote for the 3 nominees we'll give you at the end of tonight's broadcast. When we come back, we'll hear from the McGill band. They're up big at the half here at Ladd. Pepsi halftime show here at Ladd-Peebles Stadium. 36-0 McGill on top. And let's go down and enjoy their band here at Cannonball 16. .36-0 at the half. McGill on top of Murphy, and Pepsi halftime show continues on. Let's go down and see the Murphy marching band. Halftime here at Ladd-Peebles Stadium. 36-0 McGill-Toolen all over Murphy to start this one. They open the play up, up on offense, 80-yard touchdown pass, and that seems to have set the tone all night long here for McGill. It's just been all Yellow Jackets from the start of the game until the half.
Caleb Ross gave credit where credit was due. Said we saw their opponent Spanish Fort do that against them, and they should have had it, that double pass to start the game. He said we thought it was a great time to try it. Well, they're off and running now.
Yeah, Vic, okay, so if you're Spanish Fort, we saw how they came out and responded. Now, how if you're Murphy, what's Rick Cawley telling him to try to get him something going here in the second half?
Yeah, he's probably telling him, show some Panther pride, come back out, act like it's 0-0, and just, start chipping wood away and just start chopping at them piece by piece. Got to make some stops. Don't give up any more big plays, and, they're starting to do some substitutions, take advantage of that, leave their starters in the game, and just start chopping to get it back into it.
Bubba Thompson has been great here tonight for McGill-Toolen. Quarterback had a big first half, and take a look here. This was the pass to Marlon Williams. We talked about 80 yards. He goes up top to Turner McLaughlin, the tight end. And we were 14 seconds into this game, and it was 7-0 McGill, and that was just a preview of things to come. Now going up top to the near side. This is Marlon Williams, this time on the receiving end of the touchdown. And then Bubba Thompson down the middle of the field. Jalen Tolbert, that one was thrown and thought no way the receiver's going to catch up to it. He's not going to get underneath there.
Yeah.
Well, we were wrong.
Yeah.
And then the last one, the little hitch on the pump there, and over the top goes to Larry Rembert. And 4 touchdown passes in the first half for Bubba Thompson. And you can see just the total yards. Not much going on for Murphy, and then special teams been great for McGill as well. They scored on a blocked punt. They intercepted a pass and took it all the way inside the 10-yard line, and it has just been all McGill-Toolen in this
Look at
one.
that rush yard. It's just 27 yards from McGill.
Yeah, but they haven't had the ball very long. You know, they haven't had sustained drives. They've been big plays, as Dan was saying, that really has been doing it. But Caleb Russ talked about that going off the field. He said they're controlling the box. We're not able to run the ball in the box, and they want to do that a little bit here in the second half. You would think McGill would run the ball a lot.
You would think by the score that they have ran the ball a lot as well.
And we'll check in with Tara after the kick here, as Murphy will have it to start the second half. Marion Williams up the middle of the field, and Williams got great speed. He's across the 35, and Tara is down on the Murphy sideline. Tara.
Thanks, Jim. I spoke with Coach Hawley during halftime, and he said there are some things that he's not willing to tolerate from his team. That's penalties, and that's lack of effort. He said he can deal with the score that's up there on the scoreboard, but he's not going to allow his kids to walk from the field onto the sidelines. He said there is one player out there that's putting forth hard work, and that's Blake Green.
Yep.
He's the running back that actually stopped that potential pick 6 from McGill late in the first quarter. Hawley says if they're going to come back and win this game, they're going to have to rally around that sophomore quarterback and really put forth the effort, guys.
Yeah, and the sophomore quarterback starting because the junior quarterback was not ruled he was going to play here tonight, and so that's been a big challenge for McGill, for Murphy in this big matchup with McGill. And yeah, you've seen Blake Green. He's been really hustling it out there for Murphy here tonight, and we know Rick Colley, and you could just imagine the angst that he has chewing on him right now.
Yeah, and you can see it from Rick, and you can see it right there, most of the first half actually on the sideline.
He's a lot closer to the situation, but I don't think I've seen a lack of effort out of him.
Roll out, this one tipped up in the air and nearly caught as Anthony Lewis was trying to get a hand on it, as Darnell Thomas bobbed that one out there. And
to put it lightly, I just think that, they're just, the guys in the orange are just playing a lot better and executing a lot better. And, we see them week in and week out, seems like, and just typical McGill football.
It's the second time we've seen this McGill offense go up against a defense with a very stout front seven, and not even attempt to run it too much. They were able to make big plays against Spanish Fort in the passing game, and the same here tonight.
Oh, that's a well-coached team, and good plan coming into the game, knowing what will work and what won't work, and being able to execute what will work.
Third down here. He fires this one and incomplete. Michael Jefferson.
Tough, long pass there. That would be hard for Brett Favre to complete there.
Got some scores to pass along. Of course, Davidson with the win last night over Foley by a score of 42-6.
Yep.
Right here, Citronelle leading Viger 17-6 in the third quarter.
Wow.
UMS Wright all over Escambia County 47-0. And I'll tell you about where I'm getting these scores. After the punt here by Thomas. Angles off, and Hinton, as it bounces off his leg, picks it up and makes one little jab step, and now he's up the sidelines. And Hinton to the 45. Hey, Lance Crawford talks about it. He says, go download the app Score Stream. I just did it at halftime. It is awesome. Like, it is just tons of scores on there. Score Stream. Go download the app. Pick local teams to follow, and you get great scores right on your phone. Hey, our friends at Zaxby's, they feed the crew. And when Lockett's here, we order extra. What they have coming up for the weekend is the new Zax Pack. Feeds the entire family, available in 12 or 18 pieces. Vic, what are you going with? 12 or 18?
I'm going with the 18.
Yeah, available in
10 of those are mine.
Your favorite flavors includes fingers, chips, toast, side, and tea.
My wife really loves those chips. They are great.
So Zaxby's Pack, thank you for Zaxby's feeding our crew. Baker leading Theodore 23-14 in the third quarter. Bayside on top of Clark County 14-6 as McGill comes back out here. Sheldon Layden stays at quarterback. Dumps to the near side and able to get that one making a move. Here goes Larry Rembert. And Rembert inside midfield, the 40, all the way down to the 25-yard line.
And there again, you were talking about effort. Tyrell Tibet, number 8. Great effort, safety, making the tackle, taking a great angle towards the ball carrier, saving another touchdown, another big play.
Right, a short pass,
Behind the line of scrimmage.
Turns into a big play.
Yeah, he's up the field and racing.
Yeah,
Look at 8 comes in there and good angle, good tackle.
So he just
almost a horse collar. Watch it.
Just has to make one man miss back there. Is that just the design, the way the play is designed up?
Yeah, they're not going to be able to block everybody if you line up correctly.
Now they go to the far side, and this is Hinton makes a move, and he goes untouched for the touchdown.
Almost the same identical play to the opposite side, Dan.
Yep. Same kind of blocking, too, guys.
Yep, 28-yard touchdown. Toss from Sheldon Lehman to Hinton.
Yeah, it's very hard to draw a play up where you're going to get 11 on 11 and a hat on everybody on defense. So the back of the receiver has to make at least 1 or 2 guys miss.
So McGill's defense comes out, gets a stop, and then their offense picks up behind Sheldon Lehman. Right where they left off behind Bubba Thompson in the first half, and the PAT is good. And it's 43-0, 2 minutes into the second half on the UTV 44 Game of the Week. Lights are bright on a Friday here at Ladd. Jim Cox, Dan Brennan, Vic Lockett, Tara Reeves on the sideline, Jared Kihas and our crew down in the truck and all around the field. Brian Anderson, our statistician.
And the lights really bright for the guys in orange and white.
What a night here for McGill-Toolen. Chase Mahler to kick off. Blake Green, one of the players, been singled out here tonight by Coach Cawley. On the return, you see his speed out across the 30 to 31-yard line, and let's set it down on the sideline to Tara. She's got a Faulkner State Educator Spotlight. Tara.
Thanks, Jim. I'm here with the director of the Murphy University Center, Gene Montgomery. And Gene, I know that Murphy has partnered with Alabama to form this program. How did that all come about?
Well, we contacted University of Alabama Early College 2 years ago with the idea of a program to partnership with them so that our students could get early college credit.
And we spoke with Senator Cameron Robinson, and I know that he was enrolled in this program. How many other students at Murphy are a part of this?
Well, right now we have 105 students that are joint students between Murphy University Center and University of Alabama Early College, and they're presently taking around 380 credit hours. They're maintaining a GPA of 3.4. So it's really an incredible program and gives these students and their families a great jump start on college and the cost of the eventual college cost.
Wow, awesome. Well, thank you so much, and back up to you guys.
All right, thanks, Tara.
I had trouble getting college credit in college.
Let's long early, right?
Yeah, early was completely out of the question.
Yeah, it's just we marvel at the athletic kids we see.
Yeah.
The academic kids are just as impressive.
Oh, no doubt.
I would say more.
Yeah, I had no athletic skills, but the academic stuff, those kids really blow me away. Really, really.
And then sometimes we see them both. They're the same person.
Yep. Got some more scores. Baker and Theodore. Baker on top, 23-14. That's a big one. BC Rain leading the floor, 19-0. Sarah and Daphne, 14-14 in the third. Blunt 21-7 over Baldwin County. 3rd and 7 coming up here for the Panthers. Fired complete on the near side, able to get that one off. First completion, Marion Williams, who's looked good on special teams here tonight, able to get the catch. Mary G. Montgomery leading Fairhope 14-0. Spanish Fort 24-3 over Gulf Shores. Luverne leads St. Luke's 28-21. St. Paul's 49-8 over Wilcox Academy. Speaking of Wilcox, Willis Wilcox and his family. Walker had a birthday. They had a little dinner at Ruth's Chris. They were watching the game in the kind of the bar area, but the sound wasn't on earlier. They were upset, and I couldn't.
Well, that's on Ruth's.
Yeah, exactly. I couldn't say, hey, turn the sound down, because they wouldn't hear us say that. So Willis Wilcox watching the game tonight with his son.
Well, usually there you just see the top of my head because I'm just looking down grazing.
2nd and 5.
I'm seeing that in my mind.
There's the deep ball that was talked about by Coach Cawley to us before the game as he was trying to go back to Lewis. Incomplete. 3rd down coming up. Next week, we've got Saraland and Blunt. Which been a great matchup here on UTV 44. Jack West, we get a chance to see him. And, of course, Kadarius Toney on the other side.
Two great quarterbacks.
Wow.
Already going to two great big programs.
3rd and 5 rolling out. Complete coverage over there. And now Williams gets hit. Wow, job by his concentration to make that catch.
Yeah, I'm telling you guys, I'm seeing some effort out of these Murphy guys. He's just not, getting the pay dirt.
I'm sure that was about everything that Rick was talking about at halftime. Was you've got to not embarrass us in the second half.
That's right.
By coming out, and you've got to play as hard as you can, because we're going to see it on film. That's for sure.
Proud program, proud alumni. Largest high school in the county at one point.
4th and 3. And they'll go for it.
Good choice.
Even it up the near side, looking to get his playmaker, make a play. Instead, it'll be intercepted at the 20-yard line as Eric Guerrer with his 2nd pick of the year.
As good as a punt, so
exactly.
No problem.
Yep. Get your big receiver, let him a chance to make a play.
And again, part of the story is that quarterback for Murphy not going with their #1 guy today, and the young sophomore had to be pressed into duty, and
no doubt that made a huge impact.
There's no question about that.
Bubba Thompson came out late in the first half for McGill, and Sheldon Lehman's been impressive back there for the Yellow Jackets since he's come in. And just as we were talking about, players getting reps, long season, never know. This is very valuable experience for a sophomore quarterback for McGill to get tonight.
Sure, no doubt. How about Brady last night playing in the 3rd preseason game?
He can play, but then I saw some other quarterbacks that didn't play in the last preseason game. Kind of makes you wonder here. As now Khalil Nettles checks in, running back for McGill-Toolen.
Everybody say you can't question Belichick, but I think I'll question him on that, putting that guy out there.
How about Tom Brady's new hairstyle? Will you question that?
Whatever Giselle wants.
Yeah, exactly. How about he just don't show up to Pittsburgh week? I don't care what his hair is like. That's the thing I'd like.
We'll get a heat timeout here with 5.5 to go in the 3rd. All Yellow Jackets here tonight from Ladd. Always good to be back at Ladd Stadium. It's great when you're here and you have a huge crowd as well. And
the old gray lady.
Nettles takes the handoff, and
nice defense there.
Yep. Kendrick Haynes still in there getting after it. So after the loss, 2nd and 16, Lehman comes to the near side, grabbed, and not quite back to the original line of scrimmage. Let's get another Educator Spotlight. Head back down on the sidelines. Tara's got another familiar face from McGill once again with us.
Yes, thank you, Jim. I'm here with Father Bryce Shields. And Father Shields, I see something glaring here on your ring finger. Can you tell us about that? It's a lot of bling.
Well, after 119 years, McGill-Toolen won a state championship in football. We were thrilled, needless to say. So all the guys, the coaches, administration, even the Archbishop, we all got a ring. And so I wear it to the games.
Absolutely, and Coach Ross is doing a great job. Your McGill Yellow Jackets are now ranked number 9 from USA Today Sports top 25 rating. But you also get to brag about other sports. Tell us how all of the McGill-Toolen Yellow Jackets athletics are doing.
I can't believe it. We're so proud. Like volleyball. Now, volleyball, football's number 1 in the state, so is volleyball. Volleyball's ranked number 1 in the state. They won the prestigious Juanita Bodie tournament, which is the kickoff tournament for volleyball in the state. So we're just extremely pleased.
well, they need to keep you around because excellence is the bar with Father Shields. Am I right?
Oh, you've got it all the way around. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Father Shields. Guys.
And McGill has to punt here tonight. And this is the first time they did it on the second drive. First time they had to do it since then. And Murphy will have great field position. Father Shields, always fun.
Yes. Oh, yeah. I've known him since the day we got down here, just about 21 years ago. We were right in the middle of the Catholic community down here, St. Ignatius, McGill-Toolen. Met a lot of friends in those first few years that I don't see as often now, but just really gracious Mobilians.
Gill jumped out early in this one and really just controlled things in the first half. It was 36-0 at the half and 3:44 to go here in the third quarter.
You know, I know Rick was concerned. Rick Cawley, head coach at Murphy, and he told us so on the field before the game. But this would be worst case nightmare, let alone scenario.
Region
the fact
game.
that he's not got a starting quarterback, he knew coming in that was going to handicap them to a degree, but I don't think he
envisioned this, huh?
No, I doubt that.
Yeah, and it's a loss.
Well, one thing about it, Vic talks about this too, Jim, it's just a loss. We're not connected to the officials tonight, so we're not getting the explanation on these calls.
Yeah, it was a 15-yard penalty. Backed up. It might have been roughing the kicker. This one to the near side and thrown up, and lots of contact over there, but nothing going on. But after the loss wouldn't have been enough for the first down, so they mark it off at the end as opposed to giving McGill the ball back. So,
but you know, it's one loss.
Yeah.
You know, in the grand scheme on your record, Murphy's now going to be 1-1.
Sure. So you got an opportunity to bounce back, no doubt. Let's just hope they don't have a hangover, get the quarterback situation settled out and back focused and play the rest of the year.
Blake Green ahead, and that's, you know, and we had talked about it in the pregame show. We said, hey, you're playing your big rival early in the season as opposed to late, and it's just kind of like, it's what the schedule was, and we'll kind of see where we're at, is what both teams thought. And, you know, it is a long season, and we'll see what shakes out the rest of the way, but it's not going to get any easier in 7A for either one of these teams, that's for sure. As Green has the first down. Murphy opened up last week with the win over Bryant, 55-14, and we talked about next week they'll go to Mary G. And they got Baker, Saraland, their out-of-region game, Foley, Theodore, Fairhope, Davidson, and Biger to open things up, or to close things out with Biger. Of course, that's a big rivalry game as well. We're 3 weeks. I mean, next week we'll be a month into the season.
Incredible.
There's that math. 3 + 1 is 4. 4 weeks in a month.
You know, something else pretty interesting. We had a really nice turnout on both sides, your McGill side and Murphy side. And a lot of folks, even on the Murphy side, they're like, oh, well, we showed up. I guess we'll just stay.
Yeah, they're here.
They're not backing off, and they're still here to support the Panthers.
Well, it's not one of those humid nights, and I don't see a lot of people fighting the bug. So, you know, why not just hang out? You know, a lot of families here. Let the kids enjoy, scream, and get all that out of their system, and go back and enjoy the rest of the weekend.
Parenting Vic, you bring them somewhere, let them get it out of their system, and take them home.
There you go.
Okay.
Put them to bed.
Trying to make a move was Thomas in the backfield. Now more scores to update you on. Baker 30-21 over Theodore. Bayside still holding on for the lead. 14-6 over Clark County. Still got 14-14 scores Saraland and Daphne. Boy, would that be a big win for Daphne.
Huge.
Third and 4. Inside handoff, and maybe just short of the first down. I think Murphy goes for this one here on 4th and short, as we see Anthony Miller checking in for the Panthers as we approach a minute to go in the third.
Yes, obviously some McGill backups in there right now. Murphy trying to win the line of scrimmage here in the second half.
Thomas gives it off and driving ahead and coming up with the first down is Anthony Miller. Trying to get to some of those substitutions coming in. Joseph Williams now in at linebacker. Bryson Massey in at linebacker as well. These kids, they work hard all week in practice. This is their time to get out there and enjoy playing on a Friday night.
It's 89 and humid for them in the middle of the summer too, in their practice.
Incomplete to the far side. Try to get some of those other McGill kids in there. Christian Williams. In on the line. Second and 10, 11 seconds to go in the third, and Green ahead here, and he's going to be very close to a Murphy first down, as that will bring the third quarter to a close. They stop it with 1 second left. Now they'll let it run down, and we will go to the fourth quarter. Coming up after this, we're at Ladd 43-0, all McGill-Toolen. Murphy trying to get on the board to start the fourth quarter here. Murphy band has not given up here tonight either. They continue to play hard. 43-0. McGill-Toolen leads Murphy in the battle for the painting of the cannon rights here tonight. Jim Cox, Dan Brennan, Vic Lockett, Tara Reeves in the sideline, Jared Kihas in the truck, Ryan Anderson, our statistician, and our entire crew here tonight. Thank them. A great job as always. Darnell Thomas able to get that one complete, and A.J. Lewis with the catch around the 20-yard line.
It's nice coming back to Ladd. We don't get here
often enough.
Yeah, we used to do so many of the games here. Now McGill building their own stadium.
Yep.
Played a part in that.
I think we'll probably see a Davidson home game somewhere on the schedule here on UTV 44 this year. As the give ahead. Blake Green with the first down inside the 10.
Yeah, he's running right up the gut, guys. I'm going to tell you, one guy, I know he's probably going against some backups. That center, Cameron Robinson, 6'2", 290. I've seen him get about 2 or 3 pancakes here recently, and he's still playing hard for the Panthers.
He's played well here tonight.
Fantastic player, that Cameron Robinson. He's still playing.
Give ahead. Blake Green is there. Yeah, talking about Cameron Robinson, I know he's got some inspiration for being out here tonight and every Friday night, right, Tara?
Yes, he does. He said the reason that he wanted to play high school football was because he looked up to his older brother, Fletcher, and he actually witnessed his brother win a state title at Viger. And then this past year, he was able to go to a camp where he met up with Nick Saban, and he said the one question he had to ask Saban was, what's one word you use to describe yourself? Cameron said he was thinking it was going to be physical or aggressive, and Saban said compassionate. And Cameron said that that was inspirational to him. Guys.
Are you sure he wasn't joking?
Well, he's not showing any compassion to that nose guard. I can promise you that.
I know Dan Brennan delayed Nick Saban for about 8 seconds at a first and 10 club meeting one night, and there's not a lot of compassion there.
It's just a sordid history.
Third and goal from the 1. Murphy trying to get in. McGill's defense trying to keep him out, and they'll stop him, and it'll bring up 4th and goal from the 1. Talk about Panther pride earlier. You got some McGill-Toolen Yellow Jacket pride with these.
No doubt about it. Second
reserves
team.
Getting in there and playing, and here we go.
Shows the unity of the entire defense, not only the starters, but the backups as well. Keep your head in the game. Get a lot of mental reps in practice. And when it's your time, get in there and show them what it's about.
4th and goal from the 1 to the near hash. Green back there with Darnell Thomas. Green shifts to the left. And the ball is dropped. And Thomas will be hit and stopped back at the 6.
What a shame for the sophomore quarterback to get so very close.
Wow. What a stand by the Yellow Jackets.
Yep.
And it was that second down play when it looked like they were going to get in, and they stood him up there right at the line. And so the stop there by...
And this is where I have a criticism of the pistol offense. I mean, if you could just got up on the Cameron Robinson and ran a little sneak, he would have got you in the end zone.
After what we saw from Robinson during this drive.
Yeah, you started noticing that.
Yeah.
McGill takes over at their own 6. McGill busting right up the middle, out across the 20, all the way out to the 24-yard line. First down for the Yellow Jackets as Nettles gets out there. And let's go back down to Tara for another Gulf Coast Offices of Alexander Shannara, Scholastic Athlete.
Thank you, Jim. Thank you, Jim. I have Ashley Thomas here with me. And Ashley, you've been a cheerleader at McGill for the past 4 years. And I know last year McGill was able to win the 7A state title. This year, things are looking up for them again as well. What is it like cheering for a winning team?
Well, last year was definitely very exciting. And I know the past 4 years it's been awesome cheering with these girls. And it's looking pretty good for this year. So that's definitely something awesome to look forward to.
And as a senior, you're looking at colleges, trying to decide what you're going to major in. Have you sort of narrowed your choices down in terms of which university you're going to attend next year?
I want to go into physical therapy, and I'm thinking either Auburn University or the University of South Carolina. So we'll see.
All right, Ashley. Well, on behalf of the law offices of Alexander Shannara, we're going to present you with a plaque, and we're also going to give you $250 scholarships towards your education.
Thank you. Go Jackets.
Congratulations to her. We'll tell you all about those impressive academic credentials right after this for the senior cheerleader as McGill dropped on a loose ball as we continue to make changes now in
we're
quarterback for the Yellow
now
Jackets.
looking at a JV game.
Yeah, Sam Satterwhite in at quarterback. We've called the Satterwhite family name a few times over the year at McGill.
Vic Lockett not exactly inviting the audience to stick around with that comment.
Well, hey, no, there's kids out there, like you said, that have been practicing all week, and their families want to watch them play as well. Get Jim to call their name.
They got some size on this backup offensive line.
So, no, it's not discouraging. I like to see these guys get out here and hustle.
3rd and 19.
Look at there.
With the give right up the middle. Julian McLeod with the carry. Let's go back to our Scholastic Athlete of the Week. Ashley Thomas, a senior, 2-point GPA, ranked number 3 in the class. It's a big class at McGill as well. Cheerleading captain, All-American cheerleading, National Honor Society. Going to go to either South Carolina or Auburn to study physical therapy, as she talked about there. And congratulations to her and her $250 scholarship from the Gulf Coast offices of Alexander Shannara, and the nice plaque as well. McGill will punt. Great kick. Marion Williams back to the 15.
Like the effort out of these young guys.
Actually, that was Collins Petaway in there to return the punt. So, but the Jags got the big early game tomorrow.
Yeah, that starts everything off.
Jags well, there's actually a game earlier than that.
Really?
Yeah, a 6:30 kickoff. Georgia Tech versus.
Oh, it's over in Ireland.
Yeah. I know you're used to getting up at that time of day, Dan.
Yeah, not so much anymore.
Yeah. I will not. I'll get the highlights of that one.
Thomas to give up to around the 30 as we're inside halfway here in the 4th. We'll take our final heat timeout. Of course, we call it here in the booth the Zaxby's timeout, so we can have a little more of the Zaxby's that was brought up here. So we appreciate that. 5:48 to go. All Yellow Jackets here tonight. McGill-Toolen ranked number 1 in the state. Looking so impressive here tonight. And all the scores always get a lot of attention around the state, but there's going to be some coaches in 7A that look at this one like Really?
Yeah.
And where do they look at Bubba Thompson's stats? And they're going to be like, okay, did he play the first quarter?
He got a lot done in the first quarter, didn't he?
Did.
Well, Murphy showing some fight here in the second half, and that's good to see.
It is.
Give out to the 40-yard line is Anthony Miller out there. More substitutions for McGill again next week. Blunt, Saraland here on UTV 44.
Spartans, Leopards.
Ooh, got your trivia answer coming up right after this as well. 2nd and 2. On the pitch, Miller turns the corner, and he's got a first down as he rolls out near midfield. So we talked about Murphy, 91 years of football. They've won 1 state championship. It was back in 1983. They beat Austin by a score of 7-0. There was only 4 classifications back then.
Okay.
Next year's when they went to 6. Who was the Panthers head coach?
I'll say this. I know he's got it. I was chatting with someone on Facebook, and I got it.
From the Facebook?
Well, it was asked on. There you go.
Larry Henderson?
Lefty.
Is that within him? Is that? Vic, did you have that?
I had Larry Henderson.
Did they call him Lefty?
No, you're thinking about
Lefty Drizel? Different. Wasn't him. He was not coaching. He was not coaching football here.
He is Lefty Anderson, but that is a different Coach Anderson.
Okay.
Yeah, that's Chuck Anderson's dad.
Yeah.
Chuck's at the game tonight.
Oh, is he? Okay,
yep,
great.
saw him here tonight. And so
Used to
again,
be my PE coach.
Again, Dan Brennan, incorrect on the
very.
But I had Larry Henderson, who's a great guy, big imposing figure.
Yep, went around, was a principal and Hall of Fame, if I'm not mistaken, and Alabama, Mobile Hall of Fame. I believe he might be in that.
Sounds like he should be.
Yeah,
and he's still doing some community work as well now. I think he's working with, I forget the organization, but, you know, just a good man, cares about kids still and still working with them.
Terry Curtis, head coach at UMS Wright, was an assistant on that staff.
I think Keith McCants was on that team. A couple Alabama players.
Give inside and a first down.
They were tough. I remember. They were a talented group.
Yeah, 4 classifications back then, and then they expanded to 6 after that. Murphy with their state chance. It's hard to believe, you know, 91 years they got one. They were the first Mobile area team to win a state championship.
That is hard to believe.
And then you have McGill-Toolen, Bryce Shields just talking about how long they've been at it, as this one's loose and recovered by McGill-Toolen.
Pitch was a little bit behind him. As you can tell, these guys hadn't done a lot of work together.
100+ years from McGill, and they captured their first.
Yeah, never too late.
No.
Chicago Cubs.
Yeah.
Oh, you had to jab to Jim with a Chicago.
No, I don't think that was a jab. I think that was kind of more of a I think he was looking ahead as to what it was going to be. What was the word I'm looking for?
Prognostication.
That was it. That was it.
That's all right.
We could have been here until Monday of the holiday weekend. I wouldn't have got it out correctly.
I'm on the air every day. I've got to have a vocabulary each and every day that I wake up. You know, for you, it's once a week.
McGill after the fumble. Out to the 45 as we're down to 2 minutes remaining in this one. Khalil Nettles with another carry for the Jackets.
Nettles has run nicely here in the second half.
Really has. Valuable experience and also just fun for the young kids getting there to play against their rivals.
Big lights, TV, Ladd Stadium.
Yes.
Senior Bowl's playing here. The Dollar General Bowl is played here. Did I get it correct, Dave?
Dollar General, right?
The Jags.
Jaguars are here. Hey, you love to come to the big house and play a big game where legends have played.
I guess the Jags are going to get their logo out there before their home opener. The field is kind of white clean right now, end zones, midfield.
I think they're having a logo painting party and inviting anybody that would like to bring a paintbrush over to.
I'll tell you what, they do a great job promotionally with that program.
Zipped out to the far side. Drew Langford with his first catch of the season. And he's going to have a first down for the Yellow Jackets with a minute to go.
guys, we're waiting on a game of the week that
Lives up to the billing.
Yeah, stays a little tighter. It just so, it's kind of worked out that way so far. McGill twice, pretty easy winner over Spanish Fort, though the game was contested more than this one.
To the far side, and
that may wrap it up.
It will. So McGill-Toolen so impressive here tonight, 43-0. Caleb Ross and Rick Cawley will meet at midfield for a handshake. Who knows? Maybe the season goes. Maybe they end up meeting again in the playoffs.
Could very well happen.
Yeah, this is a tough one for these Murphy kids, showing good sportsmanship, but this game just means so much to both these schools and both these communities. And
is half the cannon already orange?
Yeah,
did they start at halftime?
Yeah,
and it was,
I just hope for Murphy they're able to bounce back, put this game in perspective.
Yep.
Get their quarterback back. Regroup.
Yep. And move on. Let's go down to Tara. She's down in the field. Tara.
Thanks, Jim. Coach, you should be used to these winning interviews by now, but every time I talk to you, you say you're looking for perfection from your players. You're already the reigning 7A state champions. You come up and beat a huge rivalry in Murphy, 43-0. What are your expectations for this Yellow Jacket team?
Well, I mean, we're always trying to strive for perfection. I'm proud of this win. Don't ever take me wrong. Wins are hard to come by, and Murphy's a good football team, and we had some big plays early, and obviously they're hurting without their quarterback tonight. That made a huge difference, and that probably changed the whole outcome of the game. But I'm always striving to our kids that it's not about a scoreboard. We play to our standard. To me, a true coach, that's the guy are we doing the little things right? Are we communicating on the sideline? Because you're going to put a lot of time into this. We want to do it right. But I don't ever want to get the wrong impression. We're proud to get a win. So.
And are you going to be in Midtown when everyone starts painting that cannon orange?
Oh, we're going to go down and see that cannon, that's for sure.
All right, congratulations and have fun.
Yeah, as they say, it ain't fur.
Yeah,
right around the corner.
we said that's one of the great traditions, but for the student body to get involved, but then for the players to be able to go see that the can has been painted, it really is one of the great traditions. And wow, extra sweet here tonight with the great impressive victory. It was 28-0 after the first quarter, and it just got so out of hand so quickly. But I think this McGill-Toolen team, they can do that to a lot of teams.
I think they can. They have that sort of speed and the ability to execute that can make you look bad real quick. And then often, over and over again. It was all big plays.
Sure, and the thing you brought up, the last word, execution. That's what they do better than anybody we cover. They execute what the coaches put out for them. Even if it's the end of the game and they hadn't ran this particular trick play, they execute that trick play at the end of the game as if they've been doing it over and over and over and over, just like a regular simple run play.
Yeah, so impressive. 12 wins in a row now for McGill-Toolen as they get the big victory here tonight. Of course, we always have Players of the Week to present to you each and every week here on UTV 44. No shortage of stars to choose from for McGill-Toolen with their big win here tonight. Larry Rembert, along with Marlon Williams and Bubba Thompson, all your chance to vote on which one of those three you would like to select. Go to local15tv.com, click on High School Football Game of the Week, and we'll tell you who the winner was coming up at halftime next week when we're in Saraland as we go up to see Saraland and Blunt, our game of the week next week here on UTV 44. So for Jared Kihos and our entire crew, Tara Reeves down on the sideline, Brian Anderson, our statistician, Vic Lockett, Dan Brennan, Jim Cox saying good night from Ladd, where McGill rolls with a big victory over their rivals Murphy by a score of 43-0 here at Ladd.